for the family values that are so vital. Hello, hello. Closer. On now? I'm gathered here today because the most essential community standards and values of people across America are being attacked in the heart of a highly religious community. I find it very strange. On Sunday, there are going to be parades celebrating all types of deviance across America. It's fair to say that those parades, those celebrations, quote unquote, pride in sin and misbehavior, are rated XXX. And discerning parents have the right and the smarts not to have their children anywhere in terms of seeing this kind of stuff. Then there's movie theaters. The government rates the pictures, the movies, and if something is rated R, it's restricted. Children below 17, just a year before they're drafted into the Army, are not allowed at this late stage of the developing culture to even enter the movie theater. And yet, the public library, the youth section,
you don't have a uniform, get out of this
should be rated G for general audiences, children. Instead, we have a situation where for 1 month, our children, Jew, Gentile, Christian, Muslim, it doesn't, atheist, are subjected to attempts at indoctrination that are little more, if not physical recruitment, it's mental recruitment that these people are trying to perpetrate on our children. It's literally the equivalent of mental molestation. Molestation does not only have to mean if you physically assault a child. Molestation is if you take away parental authority over a child and you try to seduce the child into activities or ideologies that for millennia, even by pagan idolaters, were understood to be beyond the pale. This morning, I was in Brooklyn in a densely populated Orthodox Jewish community of Crown Heights, where they had a very sick man dressed up as a lady reading a story to children below the age of 5 years old. What is the purpose of having a weirdo reading these things to our children? And the answer is obvious. This is total desensitization. It's a step-by-step situation, a process, where right now in New Jersey, the Gentiles who send their children to public school, a recently passed law says that in every grade, from kindergarten through 12, they have to propagandize the children in every subject, math, science, geometry, social studies, English literature, to give them pro-LGBTQRSTUV information. What is the purpose of this other than to brainwash our children, to take our children away from us, to make the parents irrelevant? And the people who are standing behind this, either by sins of omission or sins of commission, either proactively or by not doing anything, are none other than the first line of defense that we in Lakewood have, which is our Jewish, largely Jewish, town committeemen. We look around tonight, not one of these people had enough concern for the people who voted for them, who are outraged by what's being perpetrated on our children. Not one of them. Where is Ray Coles? Where is Menashe Miller? Where is Mr. Ackerman? Where are all of the town committee members? They are busy going to the Blue Claws box in the stadium where Ray Coles can serve them kosher sushi. For that they're available. But to see that our children can remain with decency, innocence, holiness, morality, common standards, they're nowhere to be found. And we're very, very sad. We're very hurt. We're very puzzled. In the Jewish community, the time-honored way of dealing, debating, dialoguing about current issues is for one rabbi to write a letter with his reasoning and another rabbi to explain why that reasoning is wrong. However, in our situation, despite the fact that we put out many letters from leading rabbis in the last generation opposing what's happening in the library, the other rabbis and religious leaders have refused to issue or to explain what we gain by being silent in the face of morality. So we're here to say today that we're not going to continue to be silent because the very insurance policy of our children and grandchildren depends on us speaking out. And therefore we turn to the general Christian community, the Gentile community, the atheist community, the Islamic community, and we tell them, look at our children in Lakewood. The average family can have 7, 8, or 9 children. You criticize that. You feel it might be better, perhaps, with all due respect, to have 2 children and a puppy dog. But those people are not going to hold on to the talk the talk and walk the walk of the family values that is the cohesive glue that keeps civilization in general and this country in particular together. So we are doing a public service for you. Your children will be more spiritually violated, mentally, spiritually, having their innocence robbed than our children, because we have a greater control over our children. So we are your fortress. We are your first bulwark of defense. And it's important to understand for those of you who write these hateful comments in Ocean County, it's very important for you to understand. If we were to take the anti-morality view, you would call us dirty Jews. We're promoting immorality. When we take the pro-morality view, then you say these Jews are interfering with freedom. You can't have it both ways, and you can't be hypocritical. The fact of the matter is that the library is the public square, and there has to be a community standard and value. It's not Greenwich Village, it's not San Francisco, it's not Sodom. This is a place where we appreciate morality and decency. And those standards should be honored.
Should we make a protest?
If you have any familiarity with what goes on in courts,
good idea. Let's be
in courts, in certain parts of the country, things are deemed pornographic. And in places like liberal New York or San Francisco, anything can go. Virtually nothing can be called immoral. And the reason for that is the Lemon Law, which has to do with community standards and values. That means that our system of jurisprudence understands that there are community standards that dictate what people should see in public and what they should have to see when they go to stores in terms of magazines or inappropriate literature. How much more so the library? Nobody is talking about censoring books over here. The fact of the matter is, the books, deviance, perversion, and all, immorality and all are in the library. But to go to a new law and celebrate deviance, celebrate people who are tremendously confused about their own genders and identities.
Over there, on that side.
Celebrate men who dress like women. Celebrate perversion. That's where we have to draw the line.
On the wrong
And
side.
people have to understand.
They're on the wrong side of things.
People have to understand that it's up to us, each and every one of us, Jew and Gentile alike, to stand up and speak out for family values. Because today it's the Lakewood Library indoors. Next week or next month, it will be a drag queen story hour in your libraries in Ocean County. And then it will be more parades. And then there will be more mental seduction of your children. And that will be followed by more and more immorality. We are going to continue to speak out. We're not trying to take a plebiscite. We don't care if it's popular or unpopular. Sodomy was very popular in Sodom. The LGBTQ crowd is very interested in us forgetting about the word Sodom, because Sodom reminds everyone who ever learned the Bible, Jew, Gentile, Islamist, it doesn't matter. We all know that Sodom was destroyed for two reasons: because of theft, thievery, but also because of immorality. When Lot's guests were in his house, and the townspeople said, "We want to come, bring them out, we want to know them carnally," it was very clear to everyone exactly what Sodom and sodomy is. And we're going to continue to speak out against that. And the fact that it becomes legal or legitimate in any particular area, city, state, or country, does not change one iota, one jot or tittle, what's moral, what's right. When God gave the Ten Commandments, he didn't do a plebiscite, he didn't do an Athenian vote. We have standards and values, and until the last drop of blood of the last religious Jew, we are going to continue to stand up for our raison d'etre, for our leitmotif, which is to be a nation of priests and holy people. We proudly marched into inquisitional chambers, through pogroms, through holocausts, through Roman amphitheaters where we were fed to the lions even before the Christians. We were happy to give up our life's blood for morality and decency. We brought standards and values of morality and decency into the world on Sinai. It was us that became the source material for Christianity and for Islam. And that great gift that we acted as harbingers to bring to humanity as a whole, to be moral, to control the areas of reproduction which have an intrinsic holiness, that lust is not love. Those messages are timeless, and we refuse to surrender them to the masses who want fornication, free fornication at all costs, and who want to impact on our children, that we should raise a generation of children without any standards and values. Forget about it. It ain't happening. We're going to continue to stand firm on these issues. And it's vitally important that the rest of the community, the secular community, join with us, because it's your children they're coming for, and it's your children that they will succeed much quicker in converting to an immoral lifestyle and immoral attitudes. Ladies and gentlemen, we already have a staggering divorce rate. We already have no-fault divorce in 50 states, where people are encouraged, women in particular, to break up families. And therefore children grow up not in a nuclear family with a father or mother, but rather in families that are separated, where there isn't a father, and the child becomes prey, whether it's a boy or a girl, to outside influences. What in the world are you doing by carping and complaining if we want to stand up and strengthen the family values? We live those values. We conduct and convey those values in our daily lives and convey them to our children. And this is all for the common weal, for all the good. Do you think by cravenly genuflecting to the latest craziness, whether it's trans or drag or S&M or whatever the craziness is, do you think it's going to ever be enough?